things work out, nothing could possibly go wrong. I guess I'll move into the streaming now channel.
There we go.
Alright. Systems Painter, Gundam, Mech Painting, Part 2. I gotta re-add some layers onto this one today because I did some slight changes on my layer setup so that I could avoid oversaturating this.
Okay. Sometimes I really don't understand Danish women, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah, because they're like, hey, I want to look for the perfect guy, blah, 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 you know, all that, you know, how they post it, right?
Yeah.
And then this person here, she's one of those, hey, I post a lot, but don't private message.
Yeah.
But, you know, between the lines, she's actually asking for being private messages because the way she expresses herself, right?
Sure.
And then now she posts this, hey, I suddenly found 2 new, quotes on how to score a woman. So any of you guys interested? And then afterwards she writes below, don't private message. But the first one is, you see a guy, he's standing there and then he's saying, I'm new in town. Can I have directions to your house, please?
Yeah.
The other one is a guy goes over to a woman and says, hey, I wish I could select all your clothes and press delete.
Yeah. Sounds like a porn bot to me.
Yeah.
Hello, Armored Solus over on Picardo.
Ah, hello.
Let me clear my masks here. Add black mask. Add black mask. I think for the way that I created this group, I only need a couple colors, but we'll see. I grab my reference from my from ZBrush, which is not this guy. I should load up actually the last one before I did all my editing, and yeah, I'll save this as project 4. Well, Armored Solus left already. I'm trying to open a random Word document. Colors. Colors are important. I'm going to put this on one of my random screens because I've got way too many of them. Start with my pink here. My dark color. I might not need purple on this particular set at all, although I might keep it in case I do specific painting later.
Ooh, Levant just posted on Tumblr. I like that one. And we're going to share it now public. There we go.
Oh, I just realized something. I'm looking at my final color palette that I decided on in ZBrush right now, and I'm making some adjustments based on that. So this is what I'm looking at here. And in ZBrush, I have decided to fill that. Value's not switching for some reason. switching. Sometimes I don't know about this program. So let's see brush, I decided to keep that more like that.
Hey, Quantum.
Hey Quantum, how's it going?
Larvantholos.
I'm leaving the hands as is. Is there any other thing that I varied? Oh, I varied quite a bit on my gun setup. That's because I have a black layer, which I don't have in here. Come on, technology. Running a save, which is going to take a little bit. I think I sorted out my disconnection issue, but we'll see if that is the case. Like, I'm tempted occasionally to turn off these autosaves, but the amount of times these autosaves have like saved my R's, I don't really want to just like turn it off. Alright, so what I'm going to add next is I'm actually going to add that little pop-up's really annoying. I know that the layer is not paintable, I'm not trying to paint on it.
1 sec. Just need to inform something.
Alright. So I'm going to create a material layer as a fill layer, so I'm actually going to not use a color on this. I don't need to affect the normal or the height, this is just to define if this is a type of metal or not. Make this a little bit more shiny. Some of this I don't want to be pure metal, so I will add another layer to work with that. Like, I think I want that dark color there. Like a more metal color. I'm gonna call this metal fill. That's weird. Yes, I know the layers are not fucking. You know what? Is there like, can I turn this pop off? It's like really annoying. No, I can't turn that pop off. Algorithmic, it'd be nice if I could turn this pop-up off, because I'm not clicking on a layer, I'm rotating. Alright, well anyway. Some of this I don't want to be metal, I want to be more of a leather color, so I'm going to create another fill layer. And I'll turn off the color. Normal. I might do height for some like leather texture on it, but right now I'm just concerned more about what it does. And I'm going to add a black mask to this and just fill some parts that I want to be a different kind of texture. Anytime you're using black and white layer in Substance, by the way, you can switch between the black and the white with X. Just toggles the value from white to black, which is a nice shortcut. I was thinking I might do that handleless as a leather sort of material too. Oops. Dull. We'll see quite the contrast between the two different values here. Still gotta adjust this layer. So I'm gonna try looking at a texture just for all of this, for this leather type pattern. So I'll add a fill for that. And take off color. We might leave color on there just for an example. Height is what we're mainly after. And you can see that's quite a contrast, that white color there between the metal parts. And that's kind of what we're looking at. We want to be able to distinguish that quite a bit. Actually has a certain kind of nice look there between the white
I'm back.
and black.
Sorry, I just had things that should be addressed first. So yeah.
You better be sorry. I mean, what?
Yeah.
So we're gonna look at our procedurals for something that we can use as sort of a leathery layer. You can pretty much use anything for a leathery layer. They manufacture so much of it these days out of different things, but I look for something that kind of feels like it has a sort of its own skin to it. And actually black and white spots might be alright, so I'm going to throw that on the height. Obviously it's way too aggressive in terms of how popped out it is, so what we'll do to control that is we'll switch over to our height layer and we'll bring this way down. We only want a little bit. And it's going to be masked off just for the white parts. That one is not, it's not showing up where I want it to, which is a little bit weird. Let's try another one here. I can see that just a little bit on the leather. I'm inverting it because I want to pull in the layers. And so what I'm going to do is take the color off of this now. I'm going to add a black mask. And I'll solo this for the purpose of being a little bit easier to look at, because we're probably going to go through a couple different of these. Now we'll go back to our trusty fill, and we'll make sure that we're adding put that color back on here just so I can see what I'm doing. I had a funny feeling I was missing a couple of spots. That's one of the things I like to use color fill on here, is for checkers. I got some micro adjusting to do back on the UVs. Go back to my paint layer and shoot, I accidentally selected that. There we go. Trying to keep it organized. So by multiplying my UV scale, I get this showing up across here, and it might not show up super well. Just trying to get an angle here where you can kind of see what's going on. Starts to feel a little bit like leather at that point. So if I turn off my color, it's now leather to the specific color fills in those different areas. I just want to make sure this also looks good on the sword, which it does up until one point there where it looks like some of my UV scale is way off. See if I can fix that with the triplanar, which it does, so I'll just accept that. I might have to go back in later and fix that UV. If I mirror those swords across from one side to the other, that'll do that. And what I may want to do for the bottom of these, because I want to make that a hard shell on the bottom of this sword. I click back on this. I'm going to turn on my symmetry line, so I only have to do this once. And I'm going to click polygon mode. That allows me to select just the polygons. I can do it by dragging or by clicking. And if the symmetry plane gets in the way, you can hide the actual color so that it's not just filling your screen up with nonsense. One of the things Algorithmic has yet to do is to give any kind of fill modes that allow you to like go along a line. I know a number of people requested that. It would be very handy for stuff like this. This is where they say you're supposed to make your IDs, so your IDs are your selection areas. I kind of do the same thing here. So bring that right back up to be in metal. Well, thank you for the donation, Quantum. I really, really, really appreciate it.
You cut off right at the end there.
I really, really, really appreciate your donation.
You're welcome.
Completely caught me off guard.
I think that was the whole idea in it.
No, it really wasn't. He should have saw it coming. I did say I was going to donate today.
Yes, you
Oh,
did,
okay.
but doesn't mean I can't
You
be
forgot it.
surprised.
That's why I was so silent. I forgot to set it up yesterday ahead of time. So I had to set up all my information today. Just now. It's a good thing I already had a PayPal set up. I just had to add the card.
There we go. I think that's a good contrast between the metals.
So what you been up to? What did I miss?
What did you miss? I've been
Mm-hmm.
setting up the materials for my gun and sword holsters, so that I got that contrast between the different types of materials, which is kind of what I intended when I made the gun in the first place. And actually, now that I think about it, I think I was gonna make these pieces. Let's turn off the symmetry line for this. There we go. Padding. Not that I think our giant mech needs it, but it's just more of a thing. Make it functional, right? Otherwise, what's the point of having those impact plate braces on there? Alright. That said, I thought a lot about this, and I think I'm going to take off some of that grunge I added on there. I do want to keep the contrast on the metal, because I think it makes the metal more interesting. I'm going to solo this. So I'm going to keep it somewhat clean, and then maybe later I'll go dirty it up. But what I do need is I need to add that back onto the places that I separated here. I'm not going to put that on the blades or the weapons. They're going to be a different kind of metal, but the head group needs it. Well, what happened there? Why? Had this do this before, where it stopped applying the instance correctly across layers, and I don't know why. Well then, I'll just copy the layer.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah.
It's weird though.
I need to disassemble this hard drive. Actually, not just hard drive holder, or what's it called? Placeholder for the hard drive. The SSD drive, and afterwards move the SSD drive to a different machine. And I don't have time for it, but I need to do it.
Why do you need to do it though?
Because it's the backup drive for all the server, all the source build and all that we have for the game.
Oh yeah.
And also the backup, that backup needs to be moved back and forth, but I need to do it in a different way. So we're using, how to call it? Normally it's just sitting in one computer that's recording the backups all the time, but now I'm switching the system to use, how to call it? It's more like you can plug it in and out all the time like USB.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to achieve here. But I'm not that lucky all the time.
By the way, you do know that you don't have your YouTube linked on your Twitter?
Oh yeah.
I was trying to look up one of your videos yesterday, but I couldn't get to your YouTube. I had to really try to find it. And I don't even remember how I ended up doing it.
No, I don't have my YouTube very set up because they lock a lot of my videos. So they're not a great social media platform.
They lock your shit. Why is that?
Well, because I used to play music a lot and they just would kill it. So it's not copying.
But you don't anymore, right?
Yeah. It's not copying this mask when it's getting instanced over for some reason. That's weird. So I go back to copy mask. I go back to my head group. By the way, Substance has this great shortcut that I didn't know about for a long time. It's a little bit overly complicated, but you press Control Alt and you right click on one of the elements in the scene, it switches over to that element. Which is awesome. Well, that's weird. I'm having a little bit of weirdness going on here, so lower mech, frame you, and I am copying the mask. Control Alt C is the shortcut for that. And then I go back onto the head group, and I want to paste the mask. It's weird because it's doing it with this specific one. I wonder, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to rebake my texture sets for this piece. So obviously that's not going to work. That makes 100% sense why it's not instancing over. So let's go ahead and do that, and I might disconnect during the process, but I promise I'll be back. I don't need an ID map. I already have the, the right one. So it should just take a few moments. We'll see. I've set it up so it's not using my CPU or my GPU during the bake, which means it'll be potentially a little slower or a little faster depending on how much system resources are being used up right now for the stream. What I could do while I'm thinking about this is I could actually re-enable my webcam on my damn stream. Go back on my editor. Alright, now that I've baked parts, I go back to my lower mech and I instantiate this across. Things will probably work. That'd be my guess anyway. Head group low. Yeah, there we go. So that's what I was trying to do, is add that unified look across the mech. Because a little bit of metal kind of breakup I think is really nice to have.
Excuse me.
There's no excuse for you. Something else I'd like to do, getting back to random stuff here. Let's solo this little head group here. I want to make this eye have some emission on it, add some interest. So I'm going to add that into here. So first thing I need to do is actually add a channel for emission in this. By default, the channel doesn't exist, so now I have an emissive channel. And if things go weird when you add an emissive channel, sometimes you have existing effects, it'll add that in, and it'll add it in as white instead of black. Just like you have your other channels on your textures, you can toggle emission on and off. So if it's toggled on, sometimes what'll happen is the emissive color will just be on, and then everything will end up a weird color right away. And you can see I get a very basic emission effect right away, and I think that's new because before it would even be a little emissive, I would have to change my shader, so I'm going to check that out. But I think I got to figure out the right color for this particular effect. So we had that sort of a purple color. Whoops. Base color needs to stay the same. Need to change the emissive color. Alright, so in order to get a really good emissive effect, before what you had to do was you had to go into your shaders. Let's see if I can find where they've hidden that and the new UI, because I still get a little bit lost in it. And you know what? I hadn't baked this guy either. This one should be real quick. I'm gonna bake it because I'm gonna want to add in those little metal effects onto there too. Thanks for the share, Massini. I appreciate that.
Hi, welcome. Sorry, I forgot I was muted. I was just done with the system here, so I'm just checking up if everything runs on auto.
Yeah.
Seems to work.
Live baking. This is what people tune in for.
They tune in for live bacon?
Live bacon, yeah.
Okay.
Well, nobody does it live anymore, right? Well, now it's updating. Alright, now we got that nice metal effect applied to that too. Woohoo. What I may end up doing, because it's also been applied to that eyeball, is I may end up readjusting how that exists. We'll see though. It's might even subdivide the base there to get that a little more smoother. Oh man, now I have to wait for a save. This is whew, the hurry up and wait game. I think that's the thing with doing CG though, is you can only go so fast. You're just gonna spend a lot of time doing things by bits. Saving,
Oh god, that's
saving,
not good.
saving.
Saving, not responding.
Yeah, that's what you want to see. Not responding to save. But Substance doesn't often crash on me. It's very periodic. It's more it just gets really, really slow on me rather than crashing. If it is crashing on you, like if you have that problem where it keeps going down, there's probably they recommend some registry edits, which sounds scary, but they recommend some registry edits on their website, and they work. That's all I got to say about that.
You actually had that problem before?
Yeah, it recommends. So what happens is one of the reasons you'll get a crash is the system can interrupt some of the rendering options. And so that's what they call the TLDR delay or something like that. And if you if you change the delay as they recommend it, the crashes go away. It's great. Incidentally, it's worth doing because I found that in ZBrush I got the same stability improvement across software, so it was really good. Alright, what was I doing? Oh yes, I was looking for shader stuff because I forget where it was in the new interface. Oh yeah, shader setting. All the way at the bottom here, hiding. So, one of the things you used to have to do, and as you probably still have to do, is you had to reselect a different shader. The default one doesn't have proper emissive properties in it. And there is one down here that says something like, well, it used to be, they may have integrated it now because it used to have to like properly turn it on. And I don't see it anymore, so they must have just integrated it and I forgot about it. Which is great. Which basically means if I click over to the rendering tab here and do a very quick render, everything's probably going to get a little choppy here, guys. I won't render it all up. I won't fully render it up, though. I won't fully realize it. I'll just do a quick one. But it means that I should be able to get some kind of spec happening, yeah. Well, staring into the darkness as iRay warms up. More hurry up and wait. As you can really see it in even the blurriness here that it's a much brighter material than the rest of it.
I'm not seeing any difference, except that it's darker, which gives it more interesting look than the
Fail.
other one. iRay looks really good.
Yeah.
Always does.
Always does. And something you can do to get yourself a little more of the get a little more of the effects, you can turn on your post effects, and if you adjust, play with your glare, which you have to turn up the glare a fair bit in the main viewport to get anything, and then once you get into the rendering, it's toned down a fair bit. But we'll put on a little tone mapping, get some Reinhardt on there.
Holy shit, the glare.
Yep. Oh yeah, you gotta bring this up quite a bit, and then a little color correction on there, saturate it up, increase the brightness.
When I thought you were going to put the emissive shader on, I thought you were going to make the eye glow.
Well, that's the thing. They've done something different, and I gotta figure out what it is, because there's should be a shader on here that has emissive in it, and I don't see that by default anymore. But I also noticed that it automatically got a little bit brighter when I put it in there, so I don't know. I go back onto the layer, so I'll just hide the shader settings down here. Don't worry, I don't plan to keep it bright like this either. I'll probably end up turning off the glare here shortly.
So you went into your texture settings and added emissive channel map?
Yep, I did.
Alright. Making sure.
Yeah, that's the easy part, but you're supposed to switch the shader, but that was in previous versions, so I don't know if they just integrated it or what.
And then you baked that shader? I mean map?
Yeah, I baked it because I noticed that I hadn't baked my initial maps on here, so that added the effect that I'd instanced across it already.
Alright. On a material, did you enable emissive?
Yeah.
Alright.
I added it here and I added it there. That's right there. Yeah.
No, that would be. No, you had to do that. No, there's no way you didn't do that.
Didn't do what? What are we snickering
Actually,
about there? What?
You know how it's always those. I just think, watch, it'll be something stupid like he didn't actually paint anything in it too emissive.
Nope, there's a color fill in there already.
All right. See, I knew you did that. I was just laughing like, nah, you had to do that.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, I've changed that. So if I render this now, I'll show you what the difference is between the main preview viewport and iRay in terms of the glare. The glare will still be there, but it'll be a lot less. And I normally just turn it off until I'm like ready to start actually doing the rendering.
Mm-hmm.
Just be a moment. This is where the magic happens. Slowly. Oh wow, maybe they fixed it because it's the same glare. Which is awesome because that means you can actually set it up. So I'm gonna bring that way down.
Yeah, actually, there's only one thing that's different between the tutorial and what you're doing, and that's only because he turned down the threshold on
Yeah.
the glare.
I have to figure out what they did with their shader though for the emissive, because I'm not quite getting that to bump out the way that it should. My luminance back up just a little bit. That makes my metal all nice. There's some more tweaking I'll probably do on the base mesh because I really want to get all these cylinders nice and smooth without killing some of the performance I'm having to. So more tweaking. There's always a little bit more to do.
Right.
But this gives us an idea. This is the ramping factor toned down a little bit more and all that. So I'll probably even take my threshold all the way up. Here, put some lens distortion on there. I hate lens distortion. I can just put it on bloom. Bloom would get me. If I pop my threshold down, bloom should get me a little bit nicer. Oh well, that's what I can expect for now. Back to 3D. Da 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 da. Eventually.
3D now.
What just bumped into? What is this? Apparently one of my windows popped out, which is not helpful at all.
So, Mishni, what you working on?
I'm actually sitting and relaxing a little bit for once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting here and watching what Lava's, not watching, listening to what Lava's talking about and all that. I haven't logged into the site yet.
Trying to figure out where this is popped over. Just a sec, guys. I get getting a weird one because Substance Painter takes up. See, this window is popped out in between two screens.
Yeah, just letting you know we can't see your desktop.
I know you can see my desktop. I'm not worried about that.
Alright.
I'm worried about trying to
Alright.
get a hold of this window, which I have now. You can park yourself back there. I couldn't actually grab that at all. I was like, okay. I have a lot of windows open, so
I bet.
that was a little bit annoying. Well, let's find where I put Discord. There we go. Everything's back to function.
Yay!
Alright, so one of the things I did while I was like tweaking with stuff there is I also adjusted my my color grading, and I adjusted the tone depth and all that. So I've enhanced I bumped the color saturation up just a little bit. It's not always a good idea to do this. If you're taking this out of substance, you may not get the same end results on your color. But I know that the next place I'm taking this to is probably going to be Marmoset, which has similar color grading options in it, so I'll be okay to grade this back up to what I see here. In an ideal world. That's
Alright.
the goal, right?
Yep.
Now for the next thing. So I've played out, I've based all my basic materials in here. I'm not going to play around with exporting the mesh in and out from ZBrush right now. What I'm going to try and figure out is what kind of bolt I want to add on here to start adding some of that kind of nuts and bolt features that will kind of make our mesh feel a little bit more contiguous, I guess. So I go back onto my properties fill. I'm gonna get rid of some stuff that I don't use that much here. I need my layers and I need my properties. That's it. Other stuff I'm gonna like slowly dismantle the UI they updated and just turn it back into the original UI. I mean, I appreciate them trying to simplify things, but it took me a while to learn. I just confused the heck out of me after that. That's all.
Yeah, sometimes I hate when they update shit because you would like be following an old tutorial and they would have this like customly designed texture they would be using, and then all of a sudden that texture would be completely useless because they updated and got rid of it. And it's like, no, what? But that was only happened in Substance Painter when I got confused. So I found a way around it. That
Yeah.
what seemed like the same thing, but that took over half an hour to find and mess with, to find just the right thing so I could follow along further. And then I ran into another thing. I'm saying, okay, moving on. Different tutorial. This was way outdated.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm setting up a layer and a brush, hopefully to be a screw or some kind of a screw. I might use something like this. But I have to figure out if that's the right effect I want or not. And I'm probably gonna go with normal rather than height. We'll see though. I'd have to create a normal stencil for that, which I might do.
In this one, the height and normal are basically the same thing, right?
Sort of. I think I went over this. I was trying to go over this the other day. So this is where you're stamping in your bump map, and that's with an alpha, and it pushes it out, and that's all fine and good. And you can even I could even add a normal onto my height layer, and you can see it stamps that normal into that height layer. And I can take that off, and I can put normal layer back on, and I can stamp that normal separately, and you can see it actually affects it quite differently. And if I take off the height altogether, and actually what I'll do is I'm going to clear my alpha stencil just to give you a really good example. That's with the normal. You notice the difference?
Yep.
And so what they've got in here is they call it hard surfaces. And so we've got a couple different things, like we do have a screw slot. So if I want to take off the color, I use roughness and normal, and I'm going to take the screw slot.
I
Let's
just
go with the
remember the
round
last
one.
time you tried to show this to me, you crashed frequently. So
Yeah. So I'm going to be using these, right, to stamp what I want. Because it's getting the exact effect that I want, like that, except for the stenciling right now. I don't like that, so I have to fix that. I take the alpha layer off.
yeah, that actually looks pretty good.
Oh yeah, for nothing.
Compared, yeah.
.5. The main thing is I don't want that square. I don't want that surrounding square.
Are you clicking on it? Doesn't seem to be showing up at all.
That's exactly my point.
No, there it is.
So I don't think I can use this as my alpha. I take off the roughness in the metal and I just stamp it as a metal. That's what I gotta do. I gotta just use the normal as its own layer, and that works pretty good. If I want to add color to it, then I gotta add an alpha to it and all that other BS, which is still fine. I can do that, but it just means that I gotta find a circular alpha to use as my stamp, which stroke opacity can stay the same. I don't want to adjust the flow jitter. I should have like a generic circle that I can use. There's a double circle. But in the case of how Substance wants to use this, I need a solid circle. Which that is. So now I have like an actual screw. It doesn't matter which one of these I use. So I could just use this, change my brush size, for some reason, the reason why it's getting mangled. Well, don't know why that's getting mangled. What I'll do.
Oh, you mean how it just continues on when you drag?
No, if I'm dragging it, that's one thing. But when I'm just clicking it, it shouldn't be mangled.
Hmm.
But there's a resolution limitation too for normal maps, right? So if I want that normal to work, I have to have enough texture space available for it to work. So it'll work in those areas. It may work less effectively in that area because there could be texture stretching going on. Shouldn't be though, because those other textures have neatly gone across it. So now if I take off those other guys, yeah, I'm still getting that limitation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change how it aligns on there. UV camera. Yeah, I'm running into a texture space issue there. There's not much I can do about that. So if I want to do this alternatively and I don't want to include the normal as part of that. Height, rough, metalness, find, scratch. That's the let's find it alpha that we can use for some kind of a screw port. And I can make these two. I have some of these somewhere, but it just happens to be handy for this. Let's just keep it simple. We'll use this one right here. Shape with a border. Oh,
I just read something here about Trump, and I'm like, is that really how he is? Just
yes.
curious. Is he really trying to be enemies with all the countries, every
Yes.
country in the world?
Every country in the world.
No.
Yeah, but it may sound funny, but when I'm reading this, I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
To be fair, the news sites and Trump don't really get along very well.
Well, Trump's own Twitter tweeting sometimes doesn't get along either. You know?
Trump's when all about that Twitter is just wrong.
Yeah, well,
But
I don't really want to talk politics on my stream. Just
No,
saying.
I don't want to talk politics. I just want to hear, because I just read this, and the only guys who know that is you two, because
No.
one is Canada and the other one's US.
Yeah.
nobody fucks with Canada.
Nope,
Canada
they have the wall. They're helping building the wall even. It was meant as a joke. You know that Canada joke you Canadians made at one time?
Nope. Never heard of that joke.
One sec.
Yeah, I think that'll work still. That's what the height I needed at.
This year, I put it in pop text so it doesn't annoy, so it doesn't interrupt with Larvantholos.
Alright, I'm gonna start actually dropping some of these on the mech and seeing how this works out. I think I want that one to be in reverse. There we go, that's a little more like I want.
That was a pretty funny video.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty funny.
Oh, I realized that thing was popped up so high, I have to fix that. I just want to try to add some interesting visual details. Figure out what's interesting as we go though. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Let's fucking update that saved interval. I should have slept in longer today, but my cats decided I needed to get up at a certain time, regardless of my choice in the matter. Waiting. So one of their big things they said in their last update here was, hey, we improved the save system. Saves should happen much faster now. I think they're taking twice as long as they were before. I'm almost certain of it. Which is quite frustrating. Don't you dare, Substance. Don't you dare. I'll change my viewport quality down just a little bit again. Less lag, usually better. Usually the best result rate. Don't know if that's a practical detail or not, though. What else do I have on this layer? Can I invert this is a question. There should be a quick way to invert every stencil you use. Oh, it's just bad baking. So eventually what's going to happen is I'm going to finish splitting off all the pieces, and then, oh, what happened here? I'll finish baking off all the pieces, and then I can rebake some of these errors in the normal maps and etc. out of this. Well, I add CPU back for this. Give myself a little whoop. See if we can figure out where I should apply screws on here. So what I should be doing from the upper mech part. So I should be copying this layer. Copy layer. Of the lower mech. Paste layer.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
Evil, what's up? How the computer doing?
Hey, Evil.
That's just fine.
Ah, it's good to hear.
Hello, Lava. Hello, Quantum.
And we're doing, Lava is doing live streaming.
Oh,
Or something like that, yeah.
or something like that.
It's starting to get cold.
It's starting to get cold.
Yeah.
Summer's over already for you?
Come again?
Summer's over already for you?
Nah. Yeah, we've had a bit of a cold streak, but I think the heat's returning. It was like 24 degrees Celsius earlier today.
It's not going to return.
Maybe even hotter.
We need
So
the cold weather.
you need the cold weather, apparently.
I want to live in, where it's cold and still have fiber.
I don't know. Maybe Svalbard has fiber. I'm not.
Isn't there any place in Canada where it's snow all the time?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on top of the on top of the mountains. Yeah, I know, but I mean, certain places or countries.
I think those are a little bit too close to each other.
Do I think those are a little bit too close to each other? No.
All right.
Oh,
It's just a test, so I'm probably not going to do that many screws on there. I like the minimalist, so it's hard for me to just add them when I'm looking at this, and I don't see any places where it would make sense to add them.
but yeah, places in Canada where it snows all the time.
Yep.
Okay.
We call it Iceville.
You forgot the cookies, Evil.
What about the cookies?
You forgot the cookies. I had a bag with cookies so you could get with your home, put in the freezer.
Vito satana perkele.
Perkele. Boy.
I think places like Saskatchewan probably have snow like all the time.
Oh yeah, they do.
I want to move there then. As long as
Yeah.
it's cold and I have fiber, then I'm satisfied.
Oh, they're full of it's fibers everywhere there. In Saskatchewan. Everywhere.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they have fiber internet.
Fiber food?
Fiber what now?
Well, you know what we need? We need screw ports on the hands.
For each finger?
That reminds me, Evil. I forgot to tell you something when you were here. I actually I had a talk with the guy who is that started that foundation with free allow cannabis here in Denmark, right?
Yeah.
For medical purposes.
Yeah.
And he walks in a totally green suit, habit or what do you want to call it, right? It's totally green.
Like a 2-piece or a 3-piece suit.
I'll send you a picture, but he was hoping that some 3D artist might be able to, draw him up, and maybe we could use him for some sort in the game. That was his idea.
What, like Reefer Man?
Yeah. You do follow me. You do follow me on this one, right?
Actually, that would be kind of awesome. Just walking around smacking people with a giant ass joint.
Yeah, and then on the back stands the sign, "Don't do drugs."
Yeah, don't do this.
Don't do the drugs. Smack. But anyways, it was a good day.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a soda.
And you have
Because they're
enough
so
to eat and all
delicious.
that, mate? Because my father, he was actually insisting on you could get the rest of it also if you wanted to. He was actually willing before he went to bed to drive up to you with it.
Oh my god.
Nope, it's my dad, not God, but fair enough.
Oh.
Ha 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 ha.
Never some lag.
Sounds like someone's breathing straight into your mouthpiece.
No, nobody's breathing in.
Okay, then show me where the fucking dragons are, because someone's like breathing
And I'm back.
heavily.
That's
That's-
what we call being focused.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm curious what you think is being picked up on the mic because I'm not showing anything being picked up, so I'm a little confused.
Well, not on the. It's not
It
all the
might be
time, Lava.
Misty.
But sometimes I do hear somebody like, like, how to call
It
it.
might,
Yeah. I don't know what's the word for it. Yeah. But only
well,
sometimes,
can't
not all
blame
the
it
time.
on me. I was muted.
No, you were muted, so you can't get the blame. But it doesn't really matter.
What's with those lines on your brush? What appears to be.
What brush?
No, the thing that's hovering over your model when you go all over it. There's like 1, 2,
I don't see anything.
4. No?
No.
Hmm.
It's definitely not a
Wonder if it
giant
just-
box.
No, I meant on your brush itself. It's like outlines your brush radius. It seems like
You mean the brush outline?
not the circle, but it like has lines going through it. It's weird. I don't know if you can see your Twitch. You can probably see it. Yeah, I see you increasing your brush size, but that's not increasing the lines. It's like a steady 4 square thing. I mean, not 4 square. Steady 4 lines going diagonal. It's weird.
Steady 4 lines going diagonal? That's weird. I don't know anything about that.
So it must only appear up when it's streaming it. That's weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear when you're moving, like rotating. Like it switches out the gizmo to the rotating tool and the lines disappear for a moment until you switch back to the brush.
Oh yeah.
Gonna put that on the square?
What now?
No, I was thinking we're going to put that radioactive symbol on the square chest piece. Whatever that is.
Apparently I stayed on the it switched my brush over to particles, which I intended to switch off of, and I did not switch off of. Heck, I don't know. Come on, brain. Oh, I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna go check on some food and grab something to drink. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yep. So I'm just going to try this Fallout 4 thing again. What?
Alright, let's try and refocus here. Turn off my big symmetry line in the middle there. Turn back onto my regular brush.
What's this gaming mode thing?
What gaming mode thing?
Turn it off in Windows 10. It takes a lot of your processor when you're not using it.
Yeah.
There's like a gaming mode in Windows 10. What?
Nah, not gaming mode. They're synchronizing Windows 10 with Xbox accounts.
Oh, okay.
That's the game mode I think he's referring to, because that's the only one I know about, and that should be in højre klik på startknappen og vælg indstillinger.
Yeah. I just switched it off.
Okay.
But yeah. Fallout 4's a no-go. Doesn't even want to open the game. That's something.
Alright, I just can't decide what else I want to do on here today. It's kind of one of those. It was supposed to be pink. I'm curious. Those were supposed to be pink. There we go. Alright, suppose what I really gotta do now that I've done this is to fix some of the issues that I've identified today. And start to pose this into an interesting pose. And decide what kind of platform I want to put this on. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Almost seems like a bad word though. So this will go through its really long saving process. But you know, they improve so it's faster.
I don't think they improved it that much on how much size you were dealing with. What, don't you like have 4K maps on each map?
It's not a lot of
4K.
maps.
That you're modifying every moment.
I just realized a couple other items that are supposed to be pink in there. Oh, I gotta fix it. Now that I see it, right?
Right.
Oh, I know why, because I took off the pink layer on here, because I was like, oh, I don't need that. Yeah. Copy layers. Paste layers. What the heck is bleeding into my stream there?
Right.
I ain't said anything. Nobody told me nothing.
Evil angels bleeding into my stream here.
Ah.
What am I doing?
We can hear you.
They can hear everything.
Did you get it to? Did you get it to work?
Let me just
That's more like you
turn
did.
some things way down.
Yeah, but did you get Fallout to work?
Nope.
Okay. I think you need to uninstall then install it again.
Yeah. Was that better?
We can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me. Can you hear my game?
I don't know. Are you playing? Because if
Trust
you
me,
are,
if we don't hear, when we hear it, we'll tell you.
yeah.
Okay. Resume the battle then.
Alright, back into the ZBrush.
Well,
So we
welcome
can
back.
fix some things. Like the position of this particular item. Oh, this is the wrong object. Oh, that's right, because I had loaded that up for looking at.
God, I really need to get a new chair.
Yeah, it's pretty loud too. Investing in a chair, though, is worth it.
Indeed. So, what you doing back in ZBrush?
Well, we're making some adjustments to the model. Like, we noticed that this was not level against the mesh, so we're fixing that.
Oh. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, it's an easy fix.
Oh, by the way, what are vertex colors?
What are what?
Vertex colors.
I'll tell you what, rather than just telling you, I want you to say that again really slowly. Just say it.
What are vertex colors?
Exactly.
That's what they are. I should just shut up, shouldn't I?
Nah. Not unless we. Ooh, I can get that one for 213.
Do you know what vertex colors are? Do you know what vertexes are?
Yes.
Do you know what colors are?
Yes.
Do you know what happens when you paint vertexes?
I didn't know you could paint little vertex.
When you paint vertexes, they become colored. Then they are colored vertexes. Now, the next and better question you could be asking is, what is poly painting? And the answer to that would be vertex colors.
Alright.
So when you're painting an object in ZBrush, you're not actually painting the faces or the edges, you're painting the points. And so that's why ZBrush's painting relies on resolution more than any other painting solution out there.
I was just curious because sometimes when I put a model in Substance Painter, it says error, cannot find vertex colors.
Well, that's
And
interesting.
I was just wondering if that was something that I needed to worry about.
Nope. Only if you're planning to bake them for some reason. Well, that's interesting. That wasn't supposed to happen. That was supposed to happen, but that was supposed to happen like that. Reloading. I noticed this little piece bleeding through here. Yeah, it turns out I don't need it for anything. Uh-oh. Quick operation taking a long time. Oh, there we go. So it was just literally taking extra geometry up, and I gotta realign this piece back.
Not a real big fan of League of Legends, but their animations to their stories are just beautifully done.
Nope.
Right. Compared to the game,
Nope.
they upped their quality in the game. I probably would have. Nah, I still wouldn't have played it.
Back in my day, that game was not actually a game that you could buy. It was a map on the original StarCraft. That became so popular they developed it into a game, giving no credit to the original map builders.
Huh. Did not know that.
Actually, I have no
That's a good
idea.
thing I don't play that.
Actually, I have no idea if they gave credit to the original map builders. No idea. Just an FYI.
Wouldn't surprise me though. I mean, big companies have done that before.
Oh, that did work the way I expected it to. Actually worked better than I expected it to. Well then. Alright, what else can I fix in here? Try to add local subdivision on areas I think need it, so that I can keep the geometry efficient. So I think the next thing I'm going to do on this model is actually, now that I've established appropriate subdivision levels and UVs, I'm going to actually split up the mesh further into very specific parts: left arm, left leg, right leg, dress, without changing the UVs, because I want to keep everything at the same textile level. I think I might not. I might end up repacking them. But this will, what that'll do is it'll make the baking a lot better for most of this. There'll be some parts that'll still bake a little bit weird, but for the most part, things will bake a lot better. I won't have weird baking lines over certain things.
That's good.
I don't think I'm going to do that live on cam. It seems a little boring.
I'm surprised it took you so long to find that extra geometry in the gun, because you unwrapped it, right? In that one program?
That means nothing though. Like, I mean, I just thought something was poking through. I spent a lot of time just like unwrapping all the pieces, right? It just looked like something was poking through. So I have to go back to my original gun design and see why I left that on there. I thought it might have been like a piece on the end or something like that, and but no, it ended up being some weird piece of geometry that looked like it sort of belonged there. And that happens. I find when I unwrap things, I usually find stuff that I missed that sometimes just like floating points that are got hidden, or when I go through the optimization phase, I found a number of times now in ZBrush where maybe I thought I deleted everything, or I split something and it created like a third object in that split, and that third object was like really thin 1 or 2 face geometry pieces that I just didn't know was in the file. And so once I go over everything multiple times, usually you find everything. Sometimes you don't. You know, when you start managing you know, as many objects as I have, which what are we looking at in this file? Yeah. It's funny, it says 7 subtools right now. So let's start at the top. Let's see, 7 plus. Actually, really, if I want to look count how many it is, if I save this one because it's like divided into a couple of big chunks. If I go back into my other file, go back into this file, just in the mech alone, we're looking at come on, technology, you can do it. Oh, this one's been merged. I'll go back one more. This is where I should actually pose it when I go back in the other main one too, as I'm separating pieces. Because I know it's obviously I have more than one subtool in here. Here we go, 107 pieces. And that doesn't count that the gun in this is still combined into one, and the sword is combined into one. So 107, which I think is a pretty good chunk of pieces. What the hell is that bleeding in there? Just gonna mute the whole lot of you. Then I'd have nobody to talk to.
But the funny thing is, when I see the character you're building now, you have built Lava. It's when you have it as standard, you're just as a sculpt, you know, just in white. Was it white or gray? It looks really good, and when it's starting to get a little color, it's good too. But what I'm trying to say here is, sometimes when people are making, you know, characters like you are, it looks good sometimes when it's colored. Other times it actually looks better when you just sculpt color, right?
Yeah, no, I get you. I struggle with that every time because sometimes flat color looks way better, and I have to decide, you know, what's the best, what's going to be the best for me. How do I want it to look, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want that attached as one piece. Split this off. I'm actually going to split it into left and right arm too, but that's to optimize my UV space more, I think, is what's going to happen. Split fast points. Also makes it a little bit easier to pose. Massini?
Yeah?
You're the culprit.
Yeah, you were saying, Lava? I was just out getting some healthy food.
Well, we're trying to figure out who was doing the heavy breathing into the mic.
Nope, wasn't me.
It's you.
I think it was Evil. No, I think it was Evil Knievel.
I just watched you
Hi,
light up
Reese.
both times.
Hey,
Reese.
Yeah, but that was actually because I was walking really fast out to get the last food before it was thrown out.
Yeah.
I was running. You know, me running. That's actually a, you know, a cross in the calendar.
So
Hey,
you
Reese,
think
how you doing?
you think with my mech
Hello.
here I should go to a more simple color scheme and not do all this pink and purple on it?
No, not at all, not at all. I'm like, when you see some meshes, some sculpts, you know, it looks so good when it's not colored, and when they start texturing at a color, it actually looks worse. That's what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah. That's because they don't spend time on the overall form and design. They
Yeah.
just...
Hey, Reese.
Over here.
What are we doing?
I was about to draw something that I saw in my dreams.
Oh, was it a good dream?
Huh?
Was it a good dream then?
It was a very weird one.
Then you shouldn't draw it.
No, you definitely
Absolutely
should.
draw it.
No. Listen. No.
Just no.
No. Shut up, Mishni.
Hey, I didn't say anything. I'm eating. It was Evil who was laughing.
I
me
know,
laughing?
but you said something, so
No, that was Evil. Evil, he was laughing. I'm eating here.
you can still talk when you're eating.
Nope.
I'm not stupid.
Hey, you want me to talk when I'm eating? Then it stops like this. Can you understand what I'm saying right now?
In between bites.
Okay, because I can't.
Okay, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
No.
Fail, both of you.
Yep.
I was about to call one of my friends, but my internet's having this weird thing where Discord's working, but if I go into my browser, it's decided that it's going to act up and have an attitude with me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And
yay!
you're using standard IP from the internet provider, right? Service provider.
What?
I mean, you're not using a virtual private network or a VPN, right?
No.
Okay.
Subtool Master. I very rarely use this, but every time I use it, it's usually for a mirror operation.
Whenever my internet starts working again the appropriate way, I'm just gonna leave most likely.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you're only here because your internet's not working.
I mean, pretty much.
Get out.
What's with the? I've been like listening to your Discord.
The one
in the
random guy.
background.
I just done eating, so I can laugh again now. So what should I laugh about?
We're not. Okay. Okay. I thought you thought we were talking about you.
Nope, not at all. I've been eating.
No, that was me randomly laughing in the background.
I know. That's okay. Anyway.
Yeah, but if she gave me, but she's been, accusing me that it was maybe the chance for it that she's accusing me. That's pretty high.
I accuse you of the things that you do.
Yeah, but I haven't done anything to you today. I just said hi and how thing was going.
Today.
How's it?
Accuse you of anything really. I just said earlier. The only thing that I really said that could have been accusing you is whenever you said something and then somebody else was laughing and then you said that you didn't say the thing. Whatever. It's stupid. It's stupid. Just shut up.
That sounds
So,
exactly like Massini would say.
Yeah, the
Who?
shut up part. Agreed.
Everything.
Yeah. So
Who?
you're designing the 3D, the dream you're having, or you're not designing it?
I'm not designing it. It's just I'm drawing one of the things that I saw in my dream because it was very off-putting. It was like a weird creature.
Hmm.
A weird creature, eh?
It was like this angel gargoyle, but not. It had these weird hypnotic eyes. It was literally like the thing that was in its pupil. Its whole eye was just like blue spiral. It kept changing colors. I was like, I'm gonna have a stroke, have a seizure, but it kept changing colors. Its eye was white, but the spiral was all those different colors, and it had these horns that just went that they like sleeked back, and it had two sets of arms, and they were like bird arms almost. They were like talons, and he had no nose or mouth, and he had nothing special was about it. Nothing was special about his hair really. It's just the hair on his head was just very laid down. And his whole silhouette was just gray. That was all the color he had in him. He was just gray.
That's terrible.
Okay. He had feathered wings. I think I already said it, but I'm just saying, just in case. Everybody's silent now.
Yeah, but that's because Larvantholos,
Oh,
he's the mod.
That's because I'm in a battle.
You guys doing something you shouldn't have been? Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, are you?
Oh, that's typical. Oh, yeah, but I'm thinking about is slanking.
Well, that's Irish humor for you, eh? Scallywag! Oh, well.
That reminds me of this video.
Which video?
Hold on, I'm gonna send it.
Oh, I don't know what I need to hold on to, but okay. I'm just kidding. No, it's not funny. I know. Sorry.
Here is the video. I'm sending it in pub text.
We don't need no videos. Come on now.
Oh, I'm going out to meet the Smurfs. The green little Smurfs. I'll be back. Or is it the Smurfs they're called?
I don't even want to know.
Isn't that movie called Smurfs?
No,
Or what's it called then?
you're confusing that with the other movie.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But they're blue, I know that. And then you can get them in green, you can get them in red, and you can get them in purple, if I'm not mistaken.
You're mistaken.
Mm.
Reese? Hey, Reese. Hey, Reese.
Reese, you're bleeding through on the audio.
And the reason why we care so much, more than normal, is that he's streaming.
Whoops. Aren't you guys in the stream thing then?
We are in
on
the
the
streaming
stream
thing.
Wait, crap. I thought whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
We're in the streaming channel because there's live streaming going on right now.
That's right.
And then
Yeah.
to show the
I've-
and to show the support for the person who's live streaming, we're down here entertaining, talking, and trying not to make too
More
much
or less.
noise with the background with the microphone.
Yeah, the chatting is fine. It's the bleeding through audio that's not fine.
Okay. I'm gonna go talk to my friend now.
Hey, say hello from us.
Maybe.
It's just got that weird. Wonder if that mirror and weld is gonna bork my UVs or not. Let's find out. Well, it's not too bad actually. I can live with that. What I'm trying to do now is I'm putting this mech into separate parts, but also posable parts, so that I can do kind of a basic pose. I'm probably not going to do something too crazy because of how I've designed her in terms of mobility, but I do want to get some kind of a pose going.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm
Before I
gonna
do
probably
that.
start working on a sword again.
Yeah? What kind of sword?
Yeah. I'm not sure yet. I don't know if I want rework a sword that I previously did, add more detail to it, or just start all over with a different sword.
You should definitely do one of those.
Probably try to do it better than I did previously.
Alright. Let's try to make this a little bit dynamic. I guess we'll move the swords. Well, actually, what I probably need to do is I need to mask these guys off, but not the gun, because the gun has to go with these.
Well, apparently you didn't exit out of your stream account. You're getting notifications that your friends are online.
I am what now?
Your notification pop-ups for Steam are popping up when your friend pops online. Or
Yes.
playing something.
Yes, I still have that on. The dumb thing about Windows 10 especially is that I can make those appear in another window, but then weird stuff starts happening with programs expecting this window to be the primary window, so just leave that on there. Alright.
Oh yeah, that's all good and good and fun, but I was wondering why you would just have it on to begin with. Don't you want to be having it closed out?
Nope.
Especially during streaming? Or like closing the program itself?
Why would I want to do that?
Hmm.
Adjust this a little bit while I do this. There we go, that's how I wanted that to go. Oh, I just remembered I made those blades separate for ease of use. Excellent. See if I can't add a little dynamic into the legs too. Let's match. Match that. That's still okay. I don't have to twist the skirt here.
Well, I'm gonna go for a bit.
You're gonna go for a bit?
I decided to go watch a movie.
Alright.
I'll check on your progress every now and again. I'll glean back at my computer. I just won't be talking.
Fair enough.
I'm still reading up on something here, that's why I don't say that much.
Oh, I forgot to move one thing when I moved the leg back. So I'm fixing that now. Nice thing about ZBrush with the 3D dongle is you can really move stuff around in a way that you really couldn't before, which is a lot of fun, because before I was just stuck. Now I got a lot of movement options for any kind of posing. That other sword blade back in there actually. Let's give ourselves some project saved. when I start posing it, I like to add a posed acronym onto the end of my save. That way, when I go back to the project, because sometimes I'll pose them and then I'll stop and I'll work on something else for a while. So when I go back to the project 6 months down the road or whenever, I know which ones I had prior to posing, so that I can go back in if I need to go back to like a T-pose symmetry model. I can do that without having too much problems on it. Add some dynamic movement back into this angle here. I think the other thing that might be helpful for this is I need some kind of a platform. I don't have her standing on anything. Makes it a little bit challenging to keep an eye on. So if I just go to my bottom item here, duplicate it, and I add in a cylinder. Oh, delete the subdivisions. Should be a cylinder and oh, why? That gives me context. Cassini,
Yeah.
stop bleeding through the mic.
Sorry,
Stop bleeding through.
I'm not.
You are.
Yeah, not yeah, but I said so before, but not right now.
I have to like screenshot you. Because that would be a little bit
Oh.
challenging to do.
Shit. I had like no coffee all day. Maybe that's why I'm so fucking tired.
Oh, that would do it, yeah. Or, you know, the
Yeah.
fact that you don't sleep at all for like days at a time.
I sleep a lot.
You sleep a lot.
Yeah, maybe it's the fact that I've been stressed out for so long.
That would do it.
Yeah, that's also one of the reasons why you keep asking me, so what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. And that would be because I'm on a long-term paid sick leave.
Oh, there's definitely days where I wish I was on a long-term paid sick leave.
Yeah, just don't go there, though. I mean, the road before you get there is arduous and filled of fuck.
Oh, I get you. There was a point where, when I met my wife, I got really, really sick, and definitely thought that was going to be it for her life. Actually, I was very fortunate. So now I have to fix these gaps. Killed all my subdivisions on there, I thought. We'd kept that. That's a pain. Yeah, close enough. Get rid of this super dense arm. Start custom UI. Then I can actually pose this. So what I'm gonna do is keep the posing kind of light.
right back.
All right. Fingers always take so much time to do.
Boom, boom, boom.
So who's playing Total War?
I am.
Okay, that's why.
That's why what?
It makes more sense because I can hear him, breathing all the time. So I'm like, it makes sense when it's Total War, Empire of Total War, if that's what he's playing.
Ah,
Yes.
Because there's a lot of running and a lot of dodging and
and a lot of sound bleed through.
I'll suggest that I'll mute my mic. Be right back.
Actually, this time it was Evil Angel who was bleeding through.
Wow. That's pretty fucked. The sound's
Actually,
not
not.
that loud on.
It's your breath we can hear all the time when you're breathing.
I guess I have to.
Just do like I do, mute the phone. It's easier. Then don't have to adjust it.
Or adjust it, whatever works better for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should adjust it in here though, right? Yeah, I've tried adjusting a bit. Let's.
I think we have an improvement.
Yeah, now if it would pop up my game again, will. Put Bill to. Well then.
Alright.
Halløj, Brian. Jeg er lige opdateret. Bye. I have to talk on the TeamSpeak. Be right back.
Well,
This bleeding through?
nope.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like that point down. Alright, I'm fairly happy with this pose, but I'm open to suggestions from folks if they see an area that I could improve something. I'm all up for that too. I'll tell you what, folks, it's 4 o'clock. I've been streaming for almost 3 hours. I'm going to take a break. I may be back on later tonight to update this some more, and I'll try to get this back into Substance and drop our initial paint. We'll do a render. Nothing too crazy yet. We're going to get the pilot worked on next, so I'm going to go through and UV her, optimize her, and let's try to work on that, and then add her into this scene with the mech. Probably not through the painting process. I'll probably keep them separate, but we'll combine them for rendering just to keep the scene a little bit optimized. Later we're still going to work on that cockpit and get the pilot in there and try to figure out some kind of a dynamic pose. Again, I'm open to suggestions on that. If you like what you see, hit like, hit follow, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.